Hi everyone, welcome to this session. If you are going to appear for IPMAT Indore this year, then this is a must attend session for you guys. Every year IPMAT Indore sets some trap question, some questions which look scary but they are very easily doable, and that is what we are going to look in today's section. How can you increase your score by 8 to 12 marks in the QA section? So let's get started without wasting a lot of time. The first question, product of the root of this equation is. Now, two things. One, the equation looks scary, and because it has logarithm in it, it looks scary. But if someone knows a basic rule, basic formulas, and they try to write down one or two steps, I think students should be able to do this in less than 1.5 minutes. This power will come outside, and what you will be left with is log of 2 to the base 2, which is 1. So it is this power, which is log x to the base 2 the whole square, minus this plus this is equal to 0. Now if I assume this to be y, I'll get this as y square minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. On solving this, you get the values of y as 2, 3, very easy quadratic equation. And this is where the second mistake. A student who solve this, they mark the answer as 2 into 3, which is 6, which is wrong, because you are supposed to find out what are the product of the root, which means the values of x. So log of x to the base 2 is equal to 2 and log of x to the base 2 is equal to 3. If you solve, you get two values of x, product, find the multiplication and type the answer. Let's move to the next question. P of x denote the power set. A lot of students, they don't know what's a power set. A is a null set. Then the number of element in P of E of E of A, so many things, power set, null set, P of E of E of A. Student gets confused and more than confused, it looks scary to them. They don't understand it's an oral question. If you know that it's a null set, then the power set of A will have one element in it. Correct? Then power of our set A will have a two element in it, and so forth. You simply apply the formula to calculate the power set and you are done. It is an oral question. You will be able to solve this question orally. Again, I am telling you, don't go by the face value of the question or the face value of the equation. You need to think about it. If you think for 10-15 seconds, I am sure you would be, most of you would have been able to solve this particular question very quickly. If I look at the next question, now this question was asked in IPMAT Indore 2025 last year question. If y is equal to something, then which of the following is true? Firstly, it is log to the base e, then there is proportionality, y e raised to 5 and lot of various things which students don't like it. Most of the students, they left this question, they didn't attempt this question considering it is too time consuming and it is very complex. Trust me, it is, could be done very orally. Okay. Now just look at this. In this two option, A and D, you have y minus A. You take A here, you get y minus A is equal to something. Now y minus A is equal to this entire thing. So y minus A is not proportional to just x raised to b. I mean, b can come here, so it becomes log of x raised to b to the base e. So y minus a is not proportional to x raised to b, it is proportional to x raised log of x raised to b to the base e. So the first option is eliminated. And similarly, the fourth option is also eliminated. Correct? Now, if you look at the second and the third option closely, how can you get log of y to the base e? Only if you take log to the base e on both the sides. So what will I get? Log y to the base e is equal to log of this entire thing. So this is not proportional to just x. It is proportional to log of this value, and hence the second option is also eliminated. So you are left with only third option, and that has to be your answer. So you can eliminate this option, 3 option, and get it solved. So again, a scary looking question, was able to solve it orally. without writing anything, just by eliminating the option. So again, same thing I'm going to repeat. Don't just ignore the question or skip the question because it looks scary. Think about it for 15, 20, 30 seconds and then take a call. If I move to the next question, f of x is equal to something, a real number, then is a variable, then which of the following is true? Again, lot of students, they did not attempt this because they're talking about maxima, minima. There is no, it has a variable in quadratic equation. But if you read the option carefully, it talks about f of x has a maximum, does not have a minimum, has a minimum but not maximum, has minimum, no maximum, and talking about maximum and minimum. And what is f of x? It is a equation, it's a quadratic equation. And we know that a quadratic equation will be like this or it will be like this. Correct? It will have a minimum here and no maximum, or it will have a maximum in this case and no minimum. Now we know that if the coefficient of x square is positive, this is what you will get. If a coefficient of x square is negative, this is what you will get. Here coefficient of x square is a square. So a square has to be positive because a is a real number. A is not an imaginary, it's a real number. A square of a real number will always be positive, which means f of x is a positive inverted parabola. It will have a minima and it will not have a maxima. So it is straightforward. Third option. No need to do derivatives. A lot of students, either they will skip or they will start solving everything, solving derivative and everything. Now this trick is nothing but as, it is derived from derivatives. So I'm not saying this is not derivative, it is derived from derivative, but you can simply remember this. The most important thing, don't leave this question because you feel that, you don't know a particular topic. Let's say function, you don't know function. It does not have anything in function. It was more about quadratic equation, though it was written above x, but it has nothing to do with the concepts or properties that we have learned in function. It has more to do with the properties of the graph, how the graph of a quadratic equation would look like. Correct? So don't leave the topic because it is scary or you don't know this topic. Again, read and then take a call, then decide. Let's move to the next question. If a 3-digit number is chosen at random, what is the probability that it is divisible neither by 3 nor by 4? The student will start making sets, divisible by 3, divisible by 4, then they will subtract from the whole, all the 3-digit number and then they get it. Now you apply common sense. The consecutive number, 3-digit numbers. Now, can I say that 1 out of every 3 number is divisible by 3? And 1 out of every 4 consecutive number is divisible by, you take any 3 consecutive number, one number will be divisible by 3. You take any 4 consecutive number, one number will be divisible by 4. Correct? I want it is neither by 3, neither divisible by 3 nor by 4. So, if 1 by 3, 1/3 of the number are divisible by 3, 2/3 of them are not divisible by 3, and if 1/4 of them are divisible by 4, then 3/4 of them is not divisible by 4. Your answer is 1 by 2. It does not even take so much of time to solve it. You don't take 900 numbers, then out of which 1/3 are 2/3 are not divisible, so you will say 600. Then you will divide 900 by 4, so you will say 3/4 of 900. Then because there are common, so you will say how many numbers are divisible by 12. You don't need to get into all those sums. 900 is actually not relevant in this particular question. I could get this answer without knowing how many numbers are there, right? Even if I take, let's say, uh, consecutive 12,000 number, the answer will still remain this. If I take 12,000 consecutive number or 6,000 consecutive number, the answer will still remain this. Okay, so you need to know this approach. This is probably a less than 1 minute question, guys. Now, this was asked in IPMAT Indore. the similar question was asked next year in the IPMAT Indore. Now let's try to use the same property that we learned just now. The number of 4-digit integers which are greater than 1000 and divisible by both 2 and 3 but not by 5. Greater than 1000, which means 1001, starting 1001 and going, it's a 4-digit number, so we will go up to 9999. For a time being, let's start from 1000. So from 1000 till 9999, there are total of 9000 number. Correct? There are total of 9000 numbers. Now, it is divisible by both 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. So, half of the number is divisible by 2 and 1/3 of the number are divisible by 3, but not by 5. 1/5 of them are divisible by 5, which means 4/5 of them are not divisible by 5. Correct? So, if the question would have been probability, so what would I have done? 1s are, 2s are, my answer would have been 2 by 15. But now they're asking me to find the number of numbers. So it will be, if I do this, we get 3000. 3000 divided by 5 is 600. 600 into 2 is nothing but as 1200 is the answer. Now, I was not supposed to include 1000, but I included it. Correct? So answer can be either +1 or -1. But then there is no option called as +1 or -1 compared to 1200. I will go ahead with this. If there would have been option 1199 or 1201, I would have checked whether 1000 satisfies the given condition or not, and otherwise I would have subtracted it. That's it. So again, as simple as that, I don't need to do. Here you would have done 3 sets. You would have done divisible by 2, divisible by 3, and divisible by 4. So divisible by 2, 3, and 5. So divisible by 2 and 3 both, so you are looking at this number, and not by 5, so you have to ignore this. So basically this is the shaded region you are looking at. So you have to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 numbers, get into it, and so much of complexion, so much of time waste. This is much easier, much faster. You need to know the better approach, the shortcut approach to solve any such questions that comes in the exam. You can see the back-to-back 2 years, similar concept question was tested. If we move to the next question, now this is one of my favorite. A rabbit is sitting at a base of a staircase which has 10 steps. It proceeds to the top of the staircase by climbing either 1 step at a time or 2 steps at a time. The number of ways it can reach the top is now. So it is a difficult question, no doubt in it, but if you think slightly out of the box approach, you can solve this question like this. So let's see, let me explain you this. So there are 10 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In how many ways a rabbit can reach here? It can reach only in one way. In how many ways rabbit can reach here? It can reach in 2 ways. Either you jump directly from here, the starting position, you directly go here, or you go here and you go. So there are 2 ways of going. In how many ways rabbit can reach here? You can go directly, probably take 1 step and then take 2 steps, or take first 2 steps and then you take 1 step, or you take 1 step, 1 step and 1 step. So there are 3 ways of reaching the third step, right? Now, because you see 1, 2, 3, don't say it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that is stupid, right? So you shouldn't be doing this, correct? Now what you should be doing otherwise, okay? So if I have to reach here, let's say if I have to reach here now, 4th step. So I can say that, one can reach in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by taking, by taking 4 steps I can reach here, or I can say I will take 1 step. I will take 1 step and 2 steps, or I say 1 step, 2 steps, 1 steps, or 2 steps, 1 step, 1 step. The another way is I can say 2-step and 2-step. So total there are 5 ways of reaching the 4th place. So there are how many ways? There are 5 ways. Now if someone realizes that 3 is nothing but as 2 plus 1, 5 is nothing but as 3 plus 2, should be able to find out all the ways. So 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, 21 plus 13 is 34, this gives me 55 and then it gives me 89. So if a rabbit has to reach to the 10th steps, then it can be done in total of 89 ways. Now this was not a So this was not a very difficult, very easy question though, but could have been done by applying some smarter approaches. Yeah. Now let's look at this. Okay. Now let's look at this equation. A lot of students made this mistake. They looked at this and they said it's such a sitter question. They marked circle and that was wrong. Why? Because point is a type of circle with radius 0. It is a much more specific type of a circle. Correct? So one need to understand here, I need to check whether the radius of this particular circle is 0 or not. And in this case, the radius was 0 and hence the answer was a point and not a circle. At times you can see there are questions, where you will have answer option A, answer B. Let's say answer A is A, this is B, answer C is C, and option D will be A or C. If student get answer as A, they will mark then and there and go. They will not look at the option which was available, that is D option, or probably it could have been A and D. There are 2 answer option available. Student don't read the 4th option and they make the mistake. So always read the option to ensure that you are not missing out on a silly mistake. Okay. So if we look at this, let A, B, C be a real numbers greater than 1, n is a positive real number not equal to 1 if log of something 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 is given, which of the following is true. You can solve by taking everything on one side, find a value of A, B, C and get it done. But the better way, the best way to solve this, approach this question would be to assume the value of n. I can assume any value of n. Let me assume the value of n as 2. Okay. I will assume the value of n as 2. Okay. Now, if n is equal to 2, 2 raised to 1 becomes 2 and log of a to the base 2 is 2 now. I'll just write down one step here. Log of a to the base 2 is 2. This gives me a is equal to 4. Correct? Now, if I put n is equal to 2 here, 2 raised to 2 is 4 and 2 raised to 4 is 16. So, I'll get b is equal to 16. And similarly for c, 2 raised to 3 is 8 and 2 raised to 8 is 256. So these are the values of A, B and C. We will simply substitute here and check what options, which option matches, and we mark the answer accordingly. So the moment you use n, your job becomes much more easier. It is now only to substitute the value and check which option satisfies. Every time, every year we come across question in the IPMAT Indore exam where the question can be solved by assuming certain values or by eliminating the option. This was one of the examples. Let's move to another example. The sum of the coefficient of all the term of this expansion is. One way is to use binomial theorem. Write the 5 terms, add them. Now, if you apply your brain, then you will realize that in the expansion, if you remove x, now simply remove x, which means not remove it, okay, but the addition of the term is nothing but as the coefficient that you want to add. For example, let's say if I take x plus 2 the whole square, this is x square plus 2x plus 4. This is x square, my bad, x square plus 4x plus 4, correct? What is sum of the coefficient? 1 plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to 9. Now, this is nothing but as if I substitute x is equal to 1 here, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 3 square is equal to 9. So, in this question, I just need to substitute x is equal to 1, 5 minus 9 is minus 4, and minus 4 raised to 4 is nothing but as 4 raised to 4, which is 256. So, as simple as that. Now, what I want you to do here in this particular question, without expanding, can you find out what could be the sum of all the even terms and what could be sum of all the odd coefficients of x? So just solve these two questions. If you have, if you get the answer, type in the comment box. I will give you the thumbs up or thumbs down depending upon whether it is right or wrong. So I'm sure this session was definitely helpful. All the best for your preparation, and do remember some tricks that we have discussed today. Don't fall in the traps of exam setter of solving the question by a longer approach and just leaving the question because it seems to be squarey. Just ensure that you remember all this while writing the mocks and in the actual exam. Once again, all the best for your preparation. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.